Friends, we are very happy to inform you that e-modules are prepared for B.Ed program at Telangana by the School of Education, Osmania University under Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching Scheme MHRD New Delhi. It's indeed our pleasure to share with the teacher educators and the prospective teachers and get maximum benefit out of it. It's a first of its attempt by us. We continue to add many more such lessons to share with you all.
Namaskar. I'm Dr. Yakaiah, faculty from NSR College of Education, and today we are going to discuss about one of the important aspects of development during childhood and adolescence, for which child attends the school as a social organization. We all are aware why children are going to school. Yeah, obviously every one of us say to study. Is it only to study or what to study? Of course, he will be studying various subjects, literacy and numeracy for short we can say, but is it only literacy and numeracy? So, during this COVID-19 pandemic, children's studies are being continued, but still they feel like something is missing. Parents also experience that, not going to work or not sending to children, they are missing something apart from the academics. Can you guess? Yes, you are right. It's getting along with the others. Social interaction. Yeah, from that point of view, today we are going to discuss about social development and influence of environment. To begin with, let's see what is social development. Essentially, we all know human beings are social beings. One important characteristic that distinguishes human beings from that of the other animals is that our social beingness, interaction with others, living together, getting along with others. Alright, so let's see. Practically, no one can any longer live in a state of complete or even partial isolation. Assume that your parents are well enough and they say, beta, don't worry, we are going to provide breakfast, lunch and dinner and everything, but all that you need to do is stay in that room all alone. Is any child going to be happy with that? No. Alright. So, what else is required? Because we are not just biological beings. Human beings are essentially social beings. Alright. So, it is by living in society that man comes to develop human qualities, of which the social phase is the fundamental quality which he or she must develop for better adjustment in a civilized society. So, apart from physically growing, intellectually learning, what else the students or the children are expected to learn is the process of socialization. Now, the question is, what is that process of socialization? It's nothing but biological being to social being, transformation from biological being to social being. Because at the time of birth, the human child is unaware of social phase. Look at a below 1 month child. He is hungry, he just cries, he is not comfortable, again he cries, mom or somebody comes and attend to that, he is happy, then he just is happy and he gets a sleep and will be sleeping. But as they grow older, when they cry, if anybody just takes them, cuddles them, okay, they are fine. But look at after 3 months, 6 months, the same child, when mother or elder sister or very familiar person takes care of them, they are comfortable, happy. When they see strangers, the face feelings changes. Or a crying child, when he happens to see a stranger, probably cries a little louder. What is that? They are essentially by birth are biological beings. from 3 to 6 months onwards, particularly by recognizing mother, social smile, through these gestures, they begins to become what is known as social being. Therefore, from merely a biological organism, the human child develops into a total individual in the context of social environment. So, that is what makes the children to develop apart from other areas of development. What are those other areas of development? Let us see. Social development as a part of all round development. What is that all round development? We all are aware that children develop and grow in various aspects such as the physical, emotional, intellectual or mental, social, moral. So, an interactive result of all this is an all round development. Therefore, as a child grows up, he develops not only in physical, mental, emotional and attitudinal behavior, but also in his or her social behavior. Therefore, it is the acceptable social behavior that makes an acceptable social being. As long as the child say up till 1 year, 1.5 years, you see the children, all that they see, they just wanted it. They don't want to share along with others, they don't want to sacrifice or give away to others, they are ready to take, but no. Suppose even after 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, children are of that kind of nature, do you think we are going to be comfortably get along in the society, in your neighborhood, at your workplace? No, right? So, that is what we are talking. The social development is a part of all round development. Now, let us see some definitions of social development. Alright, here is a Garrett definition. Look at that. Garrett regards social development as the process whereby the biological individual is converted into a human person. As we have seen already, as a concept of social development is nothing but transformation of a biological being into that of a social being. So, Garrett definition supports that. Similarly, Harlock simply has defined social development as follows. Look at this. Harlock, social development is the attaining of maturity in social relationships. That is it. Giving and taking both are a part of social relationship. Okay, adjusting and help the others to get adjusted is also again a part of. So, therefore, one's ability to attain maturity in social relationships is nothing but social development according to Harlock. Alright. Now, what are the different stages of social development? Let us look at this stages in social development. Essentially, 4 stages of social development can be identified in human beings. Number 1, the stage of pre-social behavior 0 to 2 years. Basically, essentially, they are self-centered, biological based beings. So, that we call the pre-social behavior. Then from 2 to 6 years, stage 2 is known as progress from individualization to socialization. Have you seen children from 2 years, 3 years, they begin at least get together, give and take, share the things, share their objects, share their necessities, share the eatables, share the space, enjoy the companion of peer group. Alright, so that is what the progress from individualization. Individualization was in the first stage called pre-social behavior stage. From there now the children begins to take a transition from individualization to socialization. Now, the third stage, expansion of child social world, 6 to 12 years, the childhood particularly, is the period during which this social world is expanded. Otherwise, prior to 2 years, if you see, whole world is the home itself, that is it. Probably child hasn't gone on his own outside. 2 to 6 years, yes, he is in touch with the neighbors, he is in touch with the locality of the same, his house, his school, his neighborhood, his relatives. From there, 6 to 12 years, you see the children are primary school, probably that age. They get along with. Sometimes he goes, hey, what happened? You didn't turn up after the school hours immediately home. What happened? Mummy, my friend invited me. I thought of visiting him for 15 minutes. It took some time. He's talking. Now, what happened? Hey, you are not listening. You are not informing. Please note, parents and the teachers, his social world is expanding. Need not necessarily something is going out of control, something wrong is happening. No, something necessary at that age is happening. We need to note and encourage. That's a foundation for the child's social behavior in future. There is a foundation for the leadership qualities of the children. There is the foundation of getting along with other human beings. So therefore, teachers and parents need to note that and encourage the children. We are going to see a few more things after a few minutes as a part of educational implications of social development or socialization. All right, and the last and the final stage, the socializing process during adolescence is normally between 12 and 21 years. What happens here? The real socialization happens. You see the teenagers, adolescents particularly, sacrifice. Why did you go? You don't like picnic, right? Why you say you don't like visiting new places? What happened? They say simply, because my peer group is going, my classmates are going, my batchmates are going. Now what happened? The socialization process, the real in-depth characteristics and qualities of socialization develops, and after 21 years, isn't that going to be a social? It do continue, it do happen, but almost children attain what is known as social maturity. Now they know what are their roles, they know what are their responsibilities, they know how to behave with the same age people, they know how to behave with the teachers, elders and other important personalities in their environment and the society. Now the next aspect we need to look into is what are those factors that affect social development. All right, look at here, factors affecting social development. There are many, in fact, many factors that influences social development, but broadly let's see 5 important factors. Number 1, home environment. As we have seen, pre-social behavior begins. The first foundation for social development begins here, that is your home environment. 0 to 5 years preschool age, 0 to 3 years particularly, from birth to 2 years, first 2 years by and large. Even nursery also they are not joining, preschool also is not there. So first 2 years essentially mainly influenced by this factor known as home environment. Then number 2, the school environment or the school programs. 3 year onwards what happens? Preschool begins. 5 years onwards what happens? Primary school begins. So from there 3 years till the 15 years at least, the formal schooling is the main thing probably. Therefore, the school programs, which includes college programs as well, of course. And parallelly, another important factor along with the home and the school, the third, play groups and the gangs. Here gangs is the same age group, peer group we are referring, or the group of children interested in a particular activity, technically known as gang. Unfortunately, later it is used for other antisocial groups reference, but in literal meaning, gangs are the children of the same age group interested or having a common interest of the group. Right? So your play groups and gangs or the peer group is another important factor that influences the social development of the children. All right. And then number 4, community, another important factor. Some communities, people are very amicable, very adjustable. In some communities, people are very cooperative. In some communities, people are highly dominating. Where does all this come from? Yes, community influence. And other important 5th factor we could see here, heredity. Because whom did you born? Where from your 23 pairs of genes has come from? Your parents and their ancestors, the previous generations together tend to influence the social behavior. Have you seen some children from 2 years, 3 years initiates and that continues? In some other children, the initiation after 5 or 6 years goes up for anything, everything, unless otherwise somebody asks, situation demands, they won't open up, they won't speak, they won't get along, they won't take initiative. So now what causes this behavior really? If you broadly categorize all the factors into two broader groups of factors, we could say environment definitely could be home, could be peer group, could be community, and heredity. These are the two important aspects. But as of our topic today, mainly we concentrate on this factor known as environment. So what do we mean by environment? All other influences except that hereditary, the 23 pairs of genes influence, simply can be said as environment. Your home environment, your peer group environment, community environment, school environment, etc. All this, all other factors except the hereditary factors, rest all are known as environment. So therefore, look at here, all the influences on the growth of the child make the environment except heredity. Watson, Woodworth, Lamarck, Leakey have supported the major role of environment in the development of the child. In fact, the heredity versus environment is an age-old question, highly debated and finally concluded. Undoubtedly, both heredity and environment do contribute for the development of the child. So also to the environment, so also to the social development of the child, right? So, but one important person needs a specific mention who have highlighted the importance and significance of environmental factors in social development. Look at here, that's Watson. According to Watson, give me a child and the suitable environment, I will make him an engineer, doctor, lawyer, or a tradesman. That is what you wish him to be. What a great statement. Have Watson said these days that statement, every parent would have just simply rushed to him and put his child there. Okay, you make him engineer, you make him doctor, as if there are no other professions are worth pursuing. Unfortunately, that's the trend of the days. But I'm not finding any fault with, unless your child choose that. Please note that as a parent and the teacher. Nothing wrong if you suggest him engineering or the doctor. I'm not finding any fault with that. But if child does not choose, he's not interested, please never compel him. For many children drop out from professional courses, unfortunately finally drop out from their life. One of the major reasons is that if you thirst on him, if he's not interested, compelled, probably they ends up either underperformance or unavoidable or unfortunate incidents. All right. I hope I felt it's related to make a mention, but let's continue with this. The Watson's great statement. By the way, Watson has specifically mentioned there, look, give me a child and the suitable environment. Yeah, if I have to make him a doctor, there is a suitable environment. If I have to make him a great social scientist, again there is a suitable environment to be provided, of course, which includes your family environment, social environment, school environment, all that it comes to. All right. Now, to conclude, Watson's statement supports the influence of environment on the socialization of the child. All right. Similarly, from the above discussion, it may be concluded that heredity is as much important in the development as the environment. Of course, similarly, heredity is also important. What color, what facial features, what's your height and weight. Many of these characteristics are determined by heredity as such. So therefore, environment is important as well as the heredity is important. Hence, we can say neither is dispensable. Neither environment nor heredity is dispensable. Hence, both are important. So therefore, heredity and environment both are indispensable. Now, let us see this indispensability of both heredity and environment in social development of a child through an example. Look at here. Suppose there is a wheat seed and it is thrown in sand for development. There is no provision made for manure and water, etc. Will it grow to a full-fledged plant as required by the heredity? Will it? No, definitely. But it has got very good heredity. Seed is very good quality. Let us say it is hybrid seed. Still, for lack of manure, lack of water, suitable environment, it cannot grow to the extent it is expected to suppose to, which shows the importance of environment. Similarly, we also can see the importance of heredity. Suppose if the seed itself is defective, not of good quality, substandard quality, but put in very good soil, manure, water and all that is provided, still can you expect a good fruit plant from that? No, alright? Yes. So, on the other hand, look at here. On the other hand, similar seed is thrown in the soil appropriately required for it. Water and manure arranged are also provided properly. Now, both heredity, good quality of seed, as well as the environment, good quality of manure, water and other requisites are provided. Then what happens? The best of the development is quite possible. Hence, what we can conclude? Heredity and environment are both complementary to each other, rather than they are not opposing factors, they are not different factors as far as the development of the child is concerned. Both do influence, but to conclude, especially when we are talking about social development, its expression mainly depends on the environmental factors dominantly than that of the hereditary factors. So, that needs to be kept in mind, because there are certain areas where your heredity dominates. For example, your height and weight, body features, facial colors, for example, that is just mainly heredity. Environment, only a slight variation is possible. Similarly, social development is an area where environment significantly plays role in its development when compared to that of the hereditary. Alright. Okay. Now, let us see what are the educational implications of social development. Let us see at two important stages, the during childhood and adolescence, because during childhood mainly applicable to the primary school stage and during adolescence is applicable to the elementary or the secondary stage, higher classes, for example from 6th to 10th class. Alright. Now, let us see during childhood. The social characteristics of elementary school child must be given due consideration in any school program that is planned for them. From the age of 6 to 12, the young person should be helped to participate in group projects that teach him or her to work with others. So, therefore, what is to be given apart from individual work? Group assignments, group participation, group activities, group competitions are to be encouraged. Further, proficiency in the fundamental tools of learning should be sought, but such proficiency should be achieved in classroom situation which stimulate the child not only to gain skills and knowledge, but also to develop attitudes of cooperation both with adults and with young persons of his own age. So, that stage is important for the child to teach not only the subject knowledge, but also the various aspects of social development, which includes cooperation, getting along with the same age children as well as the adults and other elders. Alright. Hence, the child's interest in group activities should be encouraged and directed towards participation in worthwhile classroom projects. So, this is one important educational implication, why and how the social development at childhood needs proper support and development. Similarly, during adolescence, you could see here a well organized high school or college can provide many opportunities for its students to participate in self-initiated projects and social activities. So, because by the time they come for adolescence, they know their responsibilities, they are well organized, they are capable of organizing activities on their own, not just what is given by the school or the teachers. Let them initiate, let them take on, let them conduct some activities and the programs as such, right. Similarly, community school relationships should be encouraged. Every student should be able to find in the school some form of social activity that will meet his particular interests and that will change him to successful participation in the activity. Now, you can take this adolescence from school to society, so that a connection is born, a building is established through various community based activities. Now, project need not necessarily only limited to that of the school subjects, that too within the various school subjects papers what are taught as such. School community linkages can be developed. The individual student and his social problems need careful consideration. So, at this stage of adolescence, so you need to consider an individual student, how he differs, what problems, what challenges does he face or facing, he or she is facing. What can be done? That is important, along with the educational support as such, right. The role of the teacher at any school level should not be minimized during the secondary school and early college years. The influence of the teacher is a potent factor in the young person's adjustment. So, therefore, teacher's role is important, is crucial in social development of the child. After the parent and the home environment, it is the school environment supported by the teacher under the supervision and guidance of the teacher that influences the social development of the children, particularly childhood and adolescence age, right. Before we conclude, let us review what we have seen today as a part of social development, all right. Let us see here, human beings are social beings, that is what we have started our discussion with, all right. And biological to social being, of course, by birth the infant is biological being, self-centered, biological need based, but from there he gradually transforms into the social being. He is not just worried about his own personal needs and comforts, also will look around what is happening, what is the mood, what is the condition, what others are involved in, and so on and so forth, right. Social development is part of all round development that we have seen. Children develops not only physically, they do develop intellectually, that is mental development, and emotional development, moral development, attitudes and interests develops. Similarly, they also develop in terms of socialization, all right. So, there we have seen the definition given by Garrett, which mainly emphasizes on the biological individual being converted into a human person, and Harlock in that context defined social development as attaining of maturity in social relationships. We also have seen these 4 important stages of social development: the pre-social behavior 0 to 2 years infancy stage, and individualization to socialization, progress from individualization to socialization 2 to 6 years as second stage, and the third stage is expansion of child's social world 6 to 12 years during childhood, and the final social maturity attaining stage, that is adolescence stage, the socializing process during adolescence 12 to 21 years. And there are several factors we have seen as that influences the social development, but listed the following 5 as important factors influencing social development, namely home environment, school programs, playgroups and gangs, community, and hereditary factors. In fact, what is environment? All the influences on the growth of the child except heredity, rest all factors goes under the environment. Therefore, environment is an important determinant that's influencing social development. By the way, heredity and environment both are indispensable. From the above discussion, we have concluded that both are complementary to each other and together will influence the growth and development of the child. So on so is the case with social development of the child, in which neither is dispensable. Neither heredity nor environment is dispensable, we have discussed, but there we have seen as far as social development is concerned, definitely environment is playing more significant role as such. But otherwise, heredity and environment are both or complementary to each other. And to conclude, we have seen the educational implication. During primary school, childhood stage, we have to encourage the children to interact, group projects, activity-based learning, interacting with the peer group, home adjustment, classroom adjustment are the important educational implications as far as social development are concerned during childhood. Similarly, during adolescence, it's bringing or connecting the school to that of the community. Child not only just limited to subject based projects, rather community based projects where he interacts with the community members, where he studies and comes out with the solutions that are useful for the community problems. All that can be done to attain that social maturity for a continuity of his all round development. All right. So, with this we conclude today's topic, and thank you. See you with another topic in the next lesson.